All right. Well, I mean, the Bucks just straight up demolished the Nets. Let's talk about it. I'm Bert. Welcome to Speak True Sports. I'm joined by Sparsh today, and we are talking about the Bucks and Nets matchup, which was the very first matchup of the NBA season. Sparsh, what did you think about this? Because throughout the game, I didn't feel a single shred of fear at all that the Bucks were going to lose this game. Once they went up big in the first quarter, I was like, man, I never felt any real momentum shift or any real fear that the Nets were really going to come back and win. How do you feel about this?
See, coming from me as like a huge KD fan, like one of the things that really sort of like made me go, what the heck is happening in this game is like pretty far into the second quarter, KD only had like 9 minutes and that at that point. And within that 9 minute span, he had only 4 points, right? I mean, KD finished with like a 30 point something double, right? Pretty much like almost matching Giannis' stat line. And the thing is, you always know you can count on KD, right? But it's just Steve Nash with those lineups. I don't know what the heck he's doing. Why was Bruce Brown not playing? Nick Claxton, he's a young center, man. And like this guy, when you have him matched up with Giannis, I mean, he has no chance. And even then, Nick Claxton, he was playing really slow this game. And he was just not even like it. They didn't look like they were really trying too much on offense. Now with James Harden, it was good to see him sort of slowly get back into it, right? But things I'm noticing again, especially with these new rule changes, he's gonna have to stop trying to draw those fouls. Yeah. I've seen him way too many times this game try to ask the ref for a foul, but with a new rule change, he's not going to get that anymore. And that's going to obviously be overturning or even go to the other team, right? And another thing, man, like Joe Harris, this guy's got to make his shots, dude. It's not looking good. And there's a reason why they went in the offseason and got players like Patty Mills, where he literally went for like 7 for 7, something like that from three.
Patty Mills put up 21. He's playing like a baby Kyrie.
This guy is one of the players they need, because one of the biggest problems with the Brooklyn Nets last year was their depth, right? And now they've sort of added a bit to that. But now they need to get their other guys to really, actually put some effort into it for once, because KD's going to go there all the time. You can always count on him. You can never count him out. James Harden, he still needs to sort of fix some things, but then again, he's also playing pretty well too. And one last thing for me. I'm not saying that the Nets don't have a chance, but if they get Kyrie to come back, and if they manage to get him to play with them for the rest of the season, even including the home games, this is really going to help propel them, because with Kyrie, with that playoff series they had last year against Boston, they looked unstoppable. Like James Harden, KD, and Kyrie alone drops 100 plus.
Yeah.
This is a lot bigger of a loss than people think it is, really. Kyrie is an amazing shot creator and like playmaker as well. And, he also alleviates some of the work that KD and James Harden needs to do. KD's really good if you feed him the ball, man. But like, if he's going to be pressured a lot, if you're going to have to expect him to bring the ball up a lot, that's some added responsibility that could definitely be given to Kyrie instead, where he is really great in that. And
yeah, so with Kyrie, I mean, you could add another 20 plus points to what the Nets have right now. They lost 104 to 127. You play Kyrie, he probably drops around 20, 25, something like that. Maybe even more. Maybe they win this game, right? Straight up. The issue is, you're right. I think Steve Nash's lack of coaching experience is really showing through right here. He continued to put Claxton and Blake Griffin on Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's not going to work. I thought the Bucks' best lineup was with Giannis at center, and he was just dominating Claxton and Blake Griffin.
Yep.
I don't know how to tell this to Steve Nash, but Blake Griffin should not be guarding the opposing team's best player. Kevin Durant in that situation would be your best chance against Giannis, right? And the only way to have like matched that lineup or stop it is to put KD at center, because now you have basically like mirror opposites of each other. They're both extremely tall, extremely long. You basically have them guarding each other, and that's kind of what you would have to do. I was surprised that Cam Thomas didn't get more minutes. I was surprised Bruce Brown didn't get more minutes. They seem intent on playing their veterans purely because they're veterans, but I feel like some of these younger guys are just better than them. I mean, honestly, I think Kessler Edwards could get some minutes. I think Cam Thomas should get more minutes off the bench. Bruce Brown, obviously. Even Day'Ron Sharpe. It's like give these young guys a shot. Blake Griffin's not doing it for you. I think he's the most overhyped addition. He was the most overhyped addition to both these quote unquote super teams and the Lakers and Nets. I think Blake Griffin was the most overhyped addition. But in the end, I mean, look, KD and Harden did their thing. Rest of the team just got to step up. It kind of feels like the Lakers situation, but I said the Lakers have a better situation than the Nets do right now, in my opinion. But I do want to give a lot of praise to the Bucks because their defensive game plan was insane. It was incredible. It worked perfectly for the most part. They kind of let KD beat him, and he can't obviously do it by himself. He showed that in the playoffs. He can't win. He can't beat this entire team by himself. So they were like, all right, we're going to let the role players beat us. The role players did not beat them. So, and also just when the big three for the Bucks were out there, Drew Holiday, who actually went out with a heel contusion. It's not a big deal in terms of injury, but he did sit for like half the game. But when he was in the game, along with Chris Middleton and Giannis, they looked unbeatable. Genuinely, they looked incredible. Their chemistry is already there. They're all incredibly defensively viable, and they were all hitting their shots. They are such a difficult team to stop when they're doing that. And Giannis played out of his mind today. I mean, 32, 14, 7, and 2 blocks. It was just ridiculous. He even hit a three-pointer. This is going to be such a difficult team to stop, especially when off the bench. They got Pat Connaughton giving him 20, playing like how Joe Harris should be playing, and Jordan Noir giving him 15 and 6.
Yeah, Noir, man, that was a great performance from him.
Honestly, the Bucks should be favored to come out of the East over the Nets. I would favor them,
especially with the Kyrie situation, how it's evolved now. Like if Kyrie was back, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, for sure, KD and Kyrie, because even what we saw last year with KD and Kyrie, they were still able to like easily beat the Bucks in those games. But once Kyrie went out, then we started to see the Nets slowly collapse to the point where it's just KD's literally the only guy that's actually like willing to do whatever it takes to get this team through.
Yeah, and I mean, look, even Grayson Allen gave him a lot of good minutes for the Bucks, and they didn't even play Dante DiVincenzo yet, right? So wait till he comes back. This is scary. If the Nets don't find a way to get an exception for Kyrie to play or make him get the shot, it's going to be an uphill battle for them all year. Honestly, it's going to be tough for them, genuinely.
Yep. This is a pretty big statement win for the Bucks, especially to just remind everybody that they're the defending champions. And I actually saw some polls that were predicting 11% chance for them to win the finals. 11's way too low, man. Way too low. This team could definitely have a chance to easily win it again. I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
And what's awesome about this is that, I mean, Giannis is a guy who just never stops working, right? Right after he won the championship, he was right back in the gym, posting videos, posting pictures of him right back in the gym. Like, he didn't even take a vacation. This man was grinding all off season. And his work is paying off. And his mentality and his drive, his hunger to keep winning is rubbing off on the rest of his team. He's such a fantastic leader. And you can tell they rally around him. Their energy depends on what Giannis is doing.
Yeah.
If Giannis is going all out, the rest of his team is right there with him. I mean, he's a definition of a general. He's leading his troops into battle. And it's just a beautiful thing to see. I mean, usually a lot of times when teams get the ring ceremony, they kind of end up being a little too happy and celebrating and they kind of, most of the time I feel like they kind of lose that game, or like they let it get out of hand for a while. That was not the case here. From the beginning, from the jump, they took control. They were in control, and I never felt scared for the Nets coming back, except for when Giannis and actually the entire big three just sat, and they had James Harden cooking the other bench units. That's the only time I felt any fringe of like, oh, the Nets might get back. But then I knew like, okay, Giannis hasn't been playing for like 5 minutes. When he gets back in the game, it's over. Like it was just kind of that feeling, that vibe throughout the entire game. But this was a great kickoff to the NBA season, man. I am really excited. I didn't enjoy watching the Bucks for a long time, but now, I mean, their offense looks fun to watch now. Like it's actually got a lot more movement, and Giannis is he's going crazy. I mean, this is going to be a fun team to watch.
Dude, Giannis in the transition, and when he does that finger roll, it's literally, I don't know how. It's literally just unbeatable, man. That's literally his signature move, that finger roll.
There was one play where he got right past his man, and he was at like the free throw line, or like a little bit beyond that, and almost dunked it, but at the last second just kind of laid it in. And man, he's huge. Giannis is a very huge man.
That's just, this guy is unstoppable, dude. I'm telling you, man, this is why I chose him for MVP. He's gonna drop these numbers.
Yeah.
And if he gets the Bucks to the number 1 seed in the East, yeah, he's gonna get it. And I can see this happening a lot more likely now.
Yeah, I'm still sticking by. I think the finalists for MVP are gonna be Curry, Trae Young, Giannis. But
that's still pretty good too. Not gonna lie though.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But thank you all for watching. This has been Speak True Sports. I've been Bert,
and I'm Sparsh.
Catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and a sub if you do so, please. Goodbye.
Take it easy.